Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Cassandra. This is a 20-minute all levels Vinyasa flow practice. We are focusing on cultivating a feeling of expansiveness and space in the body. So focusing quite a bit on the spine, getting into our shoulders, and of course, never neglecting our hips and legs. Hopefully by the end of practice, you'll really feel in touch with that feeling of expansion, that feeling of taking up space, of feeling comfortable in your body, of being able to take really deep, full breaths. No props required. Let's begin lying down on our backs. And you can bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart, in your reclined butterfly pose. So as we bring this expansion through the hips and the lower body, we're also going to reach our arms up overhead, palms facing up towards the sky. And just a few times you're going to bend your elbows, bringing them down into this cactus shape. And as you inhale, stretch them all the way up overhead. And every time you go through this motion, see if you can keep your elbows and the back of the arms down on the mat as you just slide them up and down. So trying to open up into our chest, getting into the shoulders a little bit. Take two more here. Inhale to stretch it up. Exhale to bend into that cactus shape. Last one, breathing in and out. And now keep the cactus shape in the elbows. Let's bring our knees in towards one another, come into a twist. You can bring your hips over to the right as you drop both knees and thighs down over to the left. Think of pressing down into that right shoulder blade so that your chest is still facing up. And drawing the lower belly in and up. Inhale floats the knees back up through to center. We'll go twist the other way. So maybe move your hips a little to the left, both knees and thighs, and drop over to the right, pressing into the back of this left arm and left shoulder this time. Inhale, floating back up through to center. Let's stretch our arms up overhead, lengthen out through your legs, arching through your back, pointing through your toes, really feeling that full length through the spine. And I'll turn onto my left hip, left shoulder. It doesn't really matter which side you choose. We'll do both. I'll just turn towards you, towards the camera first. So onto your left side body, propping yourself up onto the elbow. Think of pushing and stretching out through the side of your waist here. If you'd like to go further into this one, you can come all the way up onto the palm, into this variation of your side sphinx. So like a laying side bending pose. One more breath in here. And coming onto the belly for your full sphinx. Both elbows down on the mat, roll the shoulders back, pull your heart forward. Think of almost pushing down into pubic bone, into the hip bones, pressing down through the tops of the feet, engaging the abs and the core a little bit here as you lengthen and reach forward. And then we'll find our side sphinx the other way. So you can rotate onto that other hip. So for me, this is my right hip, right elbow. And you can either stay down on the elbow or lift yourself up onto the hand, creating lots of space along the right side body. And instead of coming back to Sphinx pose, we'll just continue to rotate. Both feet come flat to the floor into our reverse tabletop pose. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Push down through your heels, squeeze through your seat, and lift the hips up. So for me, this is a really big stretch through my shoulders. This is where I have a more limited range of motion. Maybe at home you don't feel much in this one. All the poses are different for everyone. Think of pressing and lifting the pelvis up even higher. And let's release. Bring your hips back down, cross the ankles, and let's find downward facing dog. Hands are shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart. Press and lift yourself up. First downward dog, go ahead and move a little bit just to stretch through the back of your legs. Really emphasizing that lift through your chest as you reach back, as if you were almost going to press your chest back towards your thighs, curling and lifting tailbone up towards the sky. As you inhale, lift your heels up as high as they can go. Shift forward into your plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Twice more, just like this. Inhale, strong through your plank. Exhale, downward dog. Last one, inhale to plank pose. Let's come all the way down, lower your push-up, point the toes back, find cobra. Elbows are bent and hugging in, pulling the heart forward. And exhale, lower down. Come onto the tips of your fingers, move them out to the side of your mat, little spider cobras, moving like a wave. Inhale, finding that expansion. Exhale, softening back down. Twice more. Inhale, lift. With your breath, inhale to your back bend. Exhale, back down, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and stretch our right leg up towards the sky. Bend your right knee, open up your hip. Push a little bit more into that left heel. Straighten the right leg, lower the foot down. Same thing to the other side. Left leg extends up. Bend your left knee, open up that hip nice and wide. Press down into your right heel. Straighten the left leg, drop it down, walk your feet to the top of the mat in your ragdoll fold. So you can widen your feet as you do this. Maybe bend your knees quite a bit, holding onto the elbows. I like to sway a little bit side to side when I do this. And you can play around a little bit with your body weight distribution through your feet. Is it more in your heels, the balls of the feet, one side of the foot versus the other? Let's bring our hands down to the mat. Bend your knees even more, push into your heels, and slowly come all the way up to stand, inch by inch, coming up to mountain pose at the top of the mat. Let's find our eagle pose from here. So you're going to bend into both knees. We're going to wrap that left thigh over the right, binding once or looping the toes, only if that feels okay. Think of lengthening tailbone down. Bend your elbows and left arm will bind under the right once or twice. So even though we're focusing on spaciousness, on expansion, we want to feel that contrast with this bind, with this contraction and compression. Take one more breath, bending into both knees. Keep your arms in eagle pose. Find warrior 3 with your legs. So unwrap the legs. Left leg goes all the way back as you tilt your chest forward, at most being parallel to the mat. So parallel to the ground, no lower than that. Let's find our high lunge. So keep the arms as they are. Left toes step back. Feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale, find a back bend here. Can you lift your elbows up nice and high? Shifting your gaze. And now let's release the arms, open them out. Feel that space you're creating through your chest. We're just going to bring our back knee down to the floor. So my left knee is just going to come down. I'm in my low lunge. I'm going to interlace my hands behind the lower back, shrug the shoulders back, lift the palms off of the tailbone. Another little back bend here. And let's release. Find your pigeon pose. Right knee somewhere behind that right wrist. Straightening out that back leg behind you, just like our little spider cobras, doing this in pigeon. Inhale to lift. Exhale, melt it down. Twice more. Last one, inhale, and we'll hold pigeon pose 5 breaths. Only go as low as feels good for you today. Inviting that right hip and glute to release and open up a little bit more. So the breath is the key to cultivating that sense of expansiveness within ourselves. So try to stretch the breath a little bit, getting the fullness in the inhale and the total depletion, exhaling fully out. In and out through your nose. Let's come back up onto the hands. We find our downward facing dog from here. And it's up to you if you'd like to stay in downward dog or if you'd like to take a little vinyasa, moving through your flow. Inhaling plank. Exhale. I'm going to do chaturanga here, so hovering halfway before finding my upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog, pressing back through those heels. Let's walk the feet to the top of the mat. Not hanging out in our ragdoll fold here. We're just going to bend the knees, push into the heels, and roll all the way up to stand. Into mountain pose so we can set ourselves up for eagle with both knees bent. This time I'm going to wrap my right thigh over the left, and I'm really being careful to keep my pelvis underneath my shoulders, keeping my knees and hips facing forward. Right arm under the left, once or twice. Challenging our balance, challenging our gaze. You almost have to imagine you can look past your forms. From here into our warrior 3, just with the legs. So we unwrap, right leg goes back, tilting forward, and almost thinking of pushing the forearms and the palms in towards one another so that we can broaden through our upper back. Stepping to your high lunge, right toes to the back of the mat. Add your back bend here with your eagle arms, lifting up. Still bending into that left knee. And let's expand the arms, open it up. Should feel really good to release those eagle arms. Let's bring our back knee down to the floor. Low lunge, we're going to interlace the more unusual way. Get your other thumb on top. Shrug the shoulders down. Lift the knuckles off of the lower back. Little back bend here as well. And let's release into pigeon pose. Left knee somewhere behind that left wrist. 3 waves with the upper body. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Twice more. Last one, inhale. And hold pigeon pose as you come down. Softening shoulders and upper back. One more deep belly breath. And we'll slowly rise. Downward dog, either just holding your downward facing dog if that's what you prefer, or finding your flow. From plank, chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog. And let's bring our knees down onto the mat. We'll swing our legs out in front of us and lower all the way down, finishing in a very similar way that we started, hopefully with a little bit more space and ease in the body the second time around. So for our twist here, go ahead and straighten your left leg out. You're going to bend the right knee in towards your chest, cross it over. Right arm extends out to the side. Think of once more pressing that right shoulder blade down into the mat. If you'd like to go further, you're going to straighten that right leg and maybe slide that left hand further down. So big twist here. And if having the right leg straight is just a little bit too intense today, just keep the knee bent. The priority is on our supine twist, so you can find any variation that feels most appropriate to you. One more deep breath here. If that right leg was straight, start to bend the knee first, and we'll unwrap back through to center. Before we go to the other side, pull that right knee again in towards you, open it out towards right shoulder and armpit, and either stay here or take half happy baby, grabbing a hold of that big toe with the two-piece fingers, using your elbow to press that knee open a little bit wider. Still push down into your left hip, left shoulder, straightening out that leg so that you're not rolling over onto one side. And let's release, setting ourselves up to twist the other way. Left knee comes in, crosses over your body towards the right. Left arm stretches out to the side. Keep your chest, collarbones facing up, and then maybe straighten that left leg. Getting deeper into the IT band, into the hamstrings. Also deepening that spinal rotation. Can you maintain the same quality of breath even when we have a twist that adds some compression to the body? Let's bend into that left knee if it was straight. Onto your back once more. Half happy baby on the other side. So widen that left knee out and maybe grab a hold of that big left toe with the two-piece fingers. Push down into that opposite side. Right hip, right shoulder, right leg. Trying not to use too much strength and effort in your arms. We are trying to relax our practice here to slow things down. And let's release. We're coming into Shavasana. I'm going to do Shavasana with my arms extended up overhead. I've really been trying to improve my shoulder flexibility, and this is a very simple way to do it. Think of still lifting the hips, tucking the tailbone under a little bit before sending the hips down. If it's too much to have your arms up overhead, you can just keep your arms down by your sides. But with the arms up, we can really tap into that feeling of space, of expansion, that feeling of the breath filling us up front to back, side to side. Almost imagining you can breathe from your fingertips down to your toes. In just a few minutes here, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out and reawaken. And let's wake ourselves up, bringing some movement back into the body, deepening our breath. I'm going to take one last stretch like this, pointing through the toes, arching through the lower back, stretching out the arms, and we'll slide it down. Let's turn to one side. We'll lift up, coming to take a seat. And sitting up tall here, roll your shoulders back. Feel this lift out of our lower back. Hands come together, front of the heart. Let's chant Om together one time. Inhale to chant, breathe in. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this spacious vinyasa flow with me. I would love to know how this went for you, how you feel in your body. Hopefully you enjoyed this class. Please do subscribe before you go. Leave me a comment, and maybe we will practice again together very soon.